Hello, gentle viewers, and welcome to another episode of Alistair Reviews It. And today I am going to be reacting to Goodreads' best books of 2020. I did a reaction video to the nominees, and I would like to follow it up with the reaction to the winners. So, congratulations to all the authors who were nominated and won. Round of applause to you guys. So, the Goodreads Awards is not a literary award. It is a popularity award. It's an award for people who really like books or really like a certain author or genre. Will go in there, and as long as those awards have, as long as those books have received enough buzz beforehand, they will be nominated for Goodreads. And once they're nominated, the fans will vote on their favorite picks. And once they vote on their favorite picks, it all gets finalized. I think it got finalized beginning of December, and we have what Goodreads considers, based on their algorithm, to be the best books of 2020. And keep in mind, this is a fan-based, a reader-based award show. You know, just like you have the People's Choice Awards, other choice awards. These are awards that are awarded to authors based on viewers, fandom, and their audience. So obviously, if there's authors who have a bigger audience than other authors, they will typically get the nod, which isn't necessarily bad, but I mean, it is what it is. I definitely saw on Twitter. I usually don't comment on stuff like this, but I definitely saw on Twitter a lot of people, criticizing the Goodreads Awards because it is a popularity contest. But then again, not trying to campaign for whatever books they believed should have won certain categories or should have been nominated in certain categories, and then being upset that those books didn't either make it to those categories or didn't win those categories. But if you're not going to vote for Goodreads, or if you're not going to nominate or say, hey, I think that these books should have a chance, so please go read these books so that they'll have a chance when it comes to the time for people to vote, then they're probably not going to win. Without further ado, let's get into this. I'm going to do it on my phone because last time I did it on my computer and it messed up my whole audio. It was a very hard video to edit, and I kind of regret putting it out. I mean, it's there. I'll put it in the description box, but just keep in mind, it's not the best audio. I've used my secondary audio source, and it sounds great on my computer, but it doesn't sound great on my phone. So, let me see. I will be looking down a little bit now due to my phone being in my hand. And record. Okay, best books of 2020. View results. And you guys might see where I voted. So don't judge me for where I voted. These are books I legitimately read, and these are books based on what I read I legitimately believe should be the best in these categories. So, winner for fiction is The Midnight Library. I actually have this in my to-read list. It sounds amazing. And I also have Anxious People, which got second in my to-read list. American Dirt, Such a Fun Age. My Dark Vanessa. I've heard some good things about My Dark Vanessa, but I've also heard that you have to be in a very good point in your life to actually read it. The Glass Hotel, Transient Kingdom, The Girl with the Louding Voice, Dear Edward, Big Summer, Writers and Lovers, If I Had Your Face, A Burning, Luster. I saw Luster around a lot. I think I mostly saw it while I was browsing other things. In an Instant, Una Out of Order, The Death of Vivek Oji, Homeland Elegies, Real Life. There was a lot of nominees. And Migrations. Okay. Let's get to the next category. Mystery and Thriller. I guess that was at the end of that. I didn't see that. The Guest List. I know my husband wanted to read this. He did not read it. Home Before Dark. Okay, I've heard really good things about it. I'm actually going to put it on my want to read list. Why not? I think I might try to pick that up next year. If not next year, the year after. I'm really trying to, curate my reading seasons right now. So we'll see how that goes in this next year. When No One Is Watching, I got this for my sister-in-law, the wives, Tana French, One by One, The Body from the Woods, The Devil and the Dark Water, Long Bright River. Wow, actually, there's a lot of these. All the Devils Are Here, You Are Not the One, Troubled Blood, Unspeakable Things, Winter Counts, which is on my TBR, and my husband has that one. The Night Swim, my husband read that one, and Now She's Gone, Confessions on the 745, and First Girl Gone. Okay, a lot of people gone on this one. They're just away, to be found. Okay, for historical fiction, I have The Vanishing Half. One, congratulations, The Vanishing Half. It's on my to read list. I'm very excited to read this historical fiction. It sounds pretty amazing. Um, I have The Jane Austen Society. Curious. The Book of Longings, The Book of Lost Names, The Henna Artist, The Evening and the Morning. I've heard a lot of good things. A lot of people who like high fantasy also really like Ken Follett and his series. So who knows? I might pick that up. I got A Long Petal in the Sea, and then I have Magic Lessons, Practical Magic, which I'll probably again curate for my fall read. The Book of the Lost Friends, The Pool of the Stars, Hamnet, a novel of plague. Ooh, that sounds intriguing. The Mirror of the Light, Where the Lost Wander, Deacon King Kong. I think my husband read that one too this year. The Night Watchman, Code Haim Helene. I think it was more literary, the Deacon King Kong, than he thought it was going to be. Utopia Avenue, Betty. Why do I just think of the Taylor Swift song? I don't know. The Paper Daughters of Chinatown and Shugi Bain. Now let's go. Deep breath, everybody. In. Out. Let's do it. Okay. Winner, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, Goodreads author. So, as I said in my video yesterday, I am a fifth through reading this book, and so far it's so good. But at the same time, I understand why this won. It is a popularity contest, and most of Book Talk, most of Book Twitter, and most of BookTube really, really adore Sarah J. Maas and the worlds that she has created. So it makes sense to me. It is a popularity contest. And if it is a popularity contest, then I guess she deserves to win. Similarly, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I read like a fifth of this book too. I'm still reading it. It's so freaking good. I think it'll be my favorite V. Schwab book. And V. Schwab also has a huge following behind them. But guess what? Guess who did the upset? TJ Klune. Yes, I love TJ Klune because I read most of his gay romance before he ventured into sci-fi and fantasy, and I'm loving the venture so far. I read The House in the Cerulean Sea. I gave it about a 3.5. I liked it. It's for me, but not for me. It was a different viewpoint than I usually read, and I really appreciated it, and I liked it a lot. But ignore the Walmart auto sales, whatever that was. And I liked it a lot, and I can see why everybody loves it. I think it's a perfectly written book, and I cannot wait to see the rest of it, whatever he does with his books and his career. I'm very excited. And then I guess it doesn't tell you who you voted for, but I voted for Rhythm of War after I read it. So I didn't do it in the initial rounds because I had not read it. Once I had read it, I voted for it because I think it might be the best book I've ever read of all time. Who knows? I still have a couple books I'm reading right now. Let's see how that, shuffles up when it comes to my top 10 books of 2020, which should be coming out after New Year's. And then we have The City We Became. I also but clicked it as one to read. The Once and Future Witches. So I don't know much about this book. I don't. So I might circle back to it. I don't know. I might circle back to it. I have Piranesi, which I have on my TBR, and I actually have the book. I have a Deadly Education, which I know is very character driven, and I have my want to read. I thought it was YA, but I guess not. I have The Empire of Gold. So okay, so we have The Empire of Gold. I don't know much about. Peace Talks. I want to read it because I'm right now reading through the Dresden Files. For people who have not read the Dresden Files, I would recommend the audiobook. It's by James. Sorry, it's narrated by James Marsters, the actor who was our beloved Spike from Buffy. And let me tell you, he is the most excellent voice actor. I would recommend to anybody to experience these books through audio narration because it almost feels like you're listening to like 1940s, 1950s like murder mysteries on like your radio. But instead of that, it's actually James Marsters narrating the most fantastical urban fantasy of all time. But it gets better. So at first you're like, oh, this is really cool. It's just like kind of between work thing. Maybe I'm traveling to see my family. But then, but then it just gets so much more intense and so much better. So each book thus far of what I've read gets better than the book previously. That doesn't mean that the book previously or the first book isn't good because they are good. They stand on their own 2 feet. But it's so intricate. Anyways, okay, so anyway, I'm gonna get to the next one. The Burning Gods. I read the Poppy War, and I haven't read the second or third books, so I need to get into those. They're my want to read. Black Sun. I am reading that right now. So far, very much enjoying it. Smoke Bitten. The Girl and the Stars. So, I want to read this because it's adjacent to his Book of the Ancestor series, and but I don't know. Mark Lawrence is always a hit or miss for me, so we'll see. We'll see. It's definitely not nothing that's very like in my face right now in terms of reading, but I might get to that this next year. The Empress of Salt and Fortune. Battleground. Winter Steel. I've actually heard really good things about this. I'm going to put it on my want to read. And it's self published. So I'm just going to put it in my want to read. I've heard that the fandom for this is very small, but very, very devout, which tells me that this is probably a very good series to pick up. And the fact that it's a self published book and is on this is pretty freaking incredible. So, applause. What is it? Snaps for Will White. White? Okay. White. The Bone Shard Daughter. I swear I've gone back and forth about buying this book so many times, and the only thing that stops me is that I have all these books to read, and I've been trying to really not buy as many books, especially during the holiday season. So I haven't. We'll see. I'm gonna put it on my want to read list. The Trouble with Peace. I haven't read any of Joe Abercrombie. I haven't read any of Joe Abercrombie yet, but I think I'm going to start maybe next year. Age of Empire. Okay. Best romance. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have much to say about this. From Blood and Ash, I know that that's also a fantasy book, but it's also a big, big old romance. And the fact that it won as a fantasy romance, applause. I think us fantasy nerds are getting bigger and better than ever because we're not only in the fantasy genre, we're in every other genre. Beware all the other genres because we're infiltrating, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, Beach Read. I kind of want to read this. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm going to read it. I'm not a big romance person, but the synopsis is so great. In 5 years, we're getting love. Boyfriend material. Is that gay? Wait, is that gay? Let's do it. Why not? Look at that gay books getting into these top lists. Look at that. Oh, sorry. I just like scroll past every other one. So we have take a hint, one to watch, the Happy Ever After playlist, the Switch, You Had Me at Hola, The Two Lives of Lydia Bird, Party of Two, A Rogue One's Own, Rogue of One's Own. I was thinking Rogue One. I was like, oh, Star Wars. In a Holidays, Emerald Blaze, Something to Talk About, Sweet Temptation, Hands Down, You Deserve Each Other, and spoiler alert. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll get more into romance. I don't know. I mostly review for my channel for people watching. Mostly review fantasy and sci-fi, and that's probably what I'm gonna stick to for the most part. But if there's any like queer books, I'm probably going to try to pick them up if they're in the romance. I mean, sorry, if they're in the fantasy or sci-fi section, just because I want to read more of them. And if I like them, then I'm definitely gonna shout them out. You know. Speaking of Harrow the Ninth, so good, and To Sleep in the Stars. I do believe Christopher Paolini for all he put into this book deserves this win. He deserves this one. It was a very good book. I think it was a 4 to 5 stars for me, but it was a very, 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 very good book. I think that I want more characters. If he does another book within this universe, that's the only thing. Harrow the Ninth, I think, was an excellent. Sorry, Harrow the Ninth, I think, was an excellent follow up to Gideon the Ninth. I really, 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 truly loved it. I love those books so much. They're some of my favorites of. We'll see how they place along the top 10 list of 2020. And then we have Network Effect, Murderbot Diaries. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Murderbot Diaries. The Space Between Worlds, A Beautiful Foolish Endeavor, Axiom's End, The Hidden Girl and Other Stories, Riot Baby, The New Wilderness, The End of October, The Last Emperox, Agency, The Vanish. What is that really what it is? No, it's not. I don't know. Oh my god. Agency, The Vanished Birds, The Book of the Coley, Hench, The Mother Code, Zoe Punches the Feature, in the Age of Deception, The First Sister. I've heard good things about The First Sister. Um, and The Relentless Moon, Best Horror. Mexican Gothic, congratulations, Silvia Moreno Garcia. I read Mexican Gothic. It was a good book. And If It Bleeds by Stephen King, good. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, so good. This was my vote. It was excellent. An excellent, excellent, excellent read. Let me tell you, next year, around Halloween time, this would be the best book to pick up. It is so good. So good. The Year of the Witching, also very good. Very witchy vibes. The Only Good Indians. I have not read this. I've heard good things. Devolution, The Hollow Places, Plain Bad Heroines. I know my husband's reading it right now. Mallory, Tender as a Flesh, The Hollow Ones, The Bright Lands, Lakewood, Survivor Song, Ring Shout, The Loop, The Ghost Tree, Secret Santa. Ooh, I don't know. The World Departed, Houndings of Hell. Let's go to humor. The Strange Planet. Interesting. Wow, no thank you. Solutions to Other Problems, A Very Punchable Face, The Office, The Untold Story, The Greatest Sitcom in 2000s, Trixie and Katya's Guide to Modern Womanhood. Look at that. Freak Your Diet. Is This Anything? The New One. Becoming Duchess Goldbait. Shakespeare for Squirrels. Very Fat, Very Brave. Overstated. Shit. Oh, sorry. Actually. Squeeze Me, You're Doing Great, God, Love, and Knowledge, This is Major, Born to Be Public, Make Russia Great Again. Nonfiction. I'm probably going to kind of forward through these last ones. Let me see if I've seen any of these. No. I'm probably going to pick up Promised Land because who isn't? Probably too much, never enough. Let me see. Okay. We're going up. I'm going to forward to graphic novels. Heartstopper Volume 3. Is this another gay one? What? Fangs? Okay, so honestly, I've not read any of these. I just wanted to see what was up. But I might start reading more graphic novels. Right now I only read Buffy. So, Margaret Atwood on poetry. Oh, my husband definitely read Violent Bent Backwards of the Grass and Break Your Glass Slippers. He's into poetry. And let me go to debut novel. Such a Fun Age. I didn't read Such a Fun Age, but congratulations to Kylie Reed. Cemetery Boys, I did, and this was my vote. Was Aiden Thomas. So, congratulations, Aiden Thomas, for getting the second. You were very, very close. And then The Witching, I read it. Very good. I think it was a good. The Bone Shard Daughter is a debut. Look at that. Winter Counts. I did not know that was a debut either. Look at that. Anyways, young adult fiction. I don't think I'll have much to say on this one because I have not read any. Let me see. No, I haven't read any of them. So we're going to best adult fantasy and science fiction. The Queen of Nothing. I have nothing to say about this because I haven't read it. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I definitely think it deserves to be probably not in young adult. Didn't feel young adult to me. I don't know. I just didn't. But it was so good. I have to admit, it's so good. And I'm not a big fan of the Hunger Games, but this book was excellent. Chain of Gold, Midnight Sun. I put it as one to read. We'll see. I did enjoy the Twilight series while I was in high school, and I've wanted to read this one, but I've heard some really bad things about it, so I'm not sure. Right now, I'm gonna about it. Who knows? Children of Virtue and Vengeance. Cemetery Boys, again, look at you. Starsight, I haven't read Starsight yet. I read Skyward, I haven't read Starsight. Fable, well, I should put it on want to read because I do want to read it because I have it. Fable, I've heard good things about Fable 2. Cinderella's Dead, Legend Born, definitely want to read it. Girl Serpent Thorn, A Song of Wraiths and Ruins. The Kingdom of Black, These Violent Delights, which I did not know was fantasy. I thought it was just YA. Interesting. Aurora Burning. I've heard really good things about the first book in that series. All Stars and Teeth. The Shadows Between Us. I've heard some good things about that book too. The Extraordinaries. I've definitely. Look at TJ Klune just like kicking butt on Goodreads this year. Return of the Thief and Ray Bear. So that's all I'm going to cover for the Goodreads Choice Awards. So again, congratulations to all of the winners. Please take it in stride, have a good time, and next year, let's all just, rally for the authors and the books that we believe deserve to win. I think it's a cool thing that there is a Goodreads Choice Awards, and I think that people, I think that we all should get out of our comfort zones a little bit and read a little bit something that you just wouldn't typically read next year. And let's get after this, guys. Let's do it. Let us do it. Anyways, please let me know what you guys think of who won these awards, who you chose, who you would have picked, and how the end of your year is going. Please ding that little bell thingy, like, subscribe, follow me. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Goodreads. So this is my handle, or my socials are below. Adios, gentle viewers. Until next time. Bye.